This is Movie Hanger speaking. Today, I will tell you about the movie Mine. Mike Stevens, a U.S. Marine sniper, and his friend Tommy Madison, a radio operator and observer, are on a mission in North Africa. They are tasked with eliminating the leader of terrorists, but something goes wrong. The terrorist leader arrives accompanied, not alone. Bedouins have come to meet him to marry one of their girls. Mike hesitates. He is not sure if this is the right person. Command insists on elimination, but Mike hesitates to pull the trigger. In the crosshairs are the bride and groom. When they move aside, Mike can't identify the target. He thinks it might be someone else. He raises his rifle to respond to Tommy's objections. The scope glints in the sun, catching the attention of the terrorists' bodyguards. They open fire, forcing the partners to flee. Thanks to a sandstorm, they escape the firefight alive. Mike and Tommy contact command, and they are directed to an evacuation point in the Berbers' village a few kilometers from their location. On the way, it is revealed that Tommy is expecting a little son at home, while Mike has a girlfriend to whom he has not yet mustered the courage to propose. The sandstorm tore off a caution mines sign and brought it right under Mike's feet. He also finds a toy soldier in the sand. However, Tommy dismisses it as an old sign and advises not to pay attention to it. As the friends cross another plane, Tommy triggers a mine, and in an attempt to save him, Mike steps on another explosive. He hears the click of the detonator and abruptly stops. Tommy's legs are blown off, covered in blood and disoriented. Mike persuades him to inject morphine so that Tommy can reach the backpack with the radio. Despite Tommy being in shock and unable to think clearly, he fails to call for help.
Alpha Mongo 4.
Unable to endure the suffering, Tommy shoots himself in the head, but before doing so, he asks Mike to survive and tell his son that Tommy loved him. Mike is desperate. He constructs a makeshift pulley from shoelaces, a small axe, and a strap from a sniper rifle, with which he pulls the backpack with the radio towards him. However, the radio batteries are dead, and the spare batteries are in Tommy's chest pocket. He connects the radio to a solar panel for recharging. When the radio station replenishes its charge and turns on, Mike manages to contact command and report the situation. Command informs him that they can evacuate him only in 52 hours. Military forces are engaged in a firefight, preventing them from reaching the evacuation point immediately. Mike sets a countdown timer on his watch and prepares to wait. His water is running out, there's little food left, but that's not the main concern. Another sandstorm is approaching from the desert. Mike hurriedly wraps his face with a protective cloth, presses one side of his body against the rifle stuck in the sand, and holds the backpack with the radio in his other hand. However, the sandstorm is too strong. He loses the backpack, and when the sand clears, he discovers Tommy's body next to him. From Tommy's pocket, Mike retrieves spare batteries. Water has run out, and the sun is mercilessly scorching. Mike loses his last hope. He takes out his pistol, fires into the air several times, and then puts the gun barrel to his temple. At that moment, a local Berber resident appears. He asks him to bring water and hand over the radio from the backpack. Laughing at Mike's predicament, the Berber walks away.
You need to keep moving on!
What an idiot.
Seeing no other way out, Mike unzips the hydration pack and is ready to drink it. From behind the hill, a little girl appears with a water flask. She hands the water to Mike and shows a toy soldier similar to the one he found in the desert. Mike asks her to bring the radio, but the girl silently runs away. A long, cold night approaches, and Mike's strength is waning. If he falls asleep or collapses from exhaustion, the mine will explode. Therefore, he lights a fire with dry twigs nearby and tries to warm himself. In the middle of the night, when darkness becomes especially dense, the cries of predators echo in the silence. They prevent Mike from sleeping, even when the small campfire goes out. Mike starts shooting and even kills several animals. Then he lights a flashlight and sees how hungry jackals drag away Tommy's body, which had been lying nearby all this time. In the darkness, visions visit Mike. Memories from his childhood of his father beating his mother. He even tries to fight with the imaginary father. Morning comes and Mike is barely standing on his feet due to exhaustion. Again, the Berber comes to him. He says that Mike is lucky to have survived the night with predators and not blown up on the mine. He tells him that Mike needs to break free, take a step, and move forward. But Mike perceives it as mockery. A brief conversation ensues. Mike asks the Berber to bring him the radio, and after finishing his philosophical musings, the Berber fulfills the request and then leaves. The hours in the heat drag on too slowly. Mike is visited by hallucinations, visions from the past. It seems to him that Tommy has come back to life. He rises from the sand and starts talking to Mike. A new cold and dark night arrives, but this time, Mike has no fire and strength to fend off the predators. Jackals slowly approach from the darkness. Mike weakly shoots until the pistol runs out of bullets. Then the predators pounce on him, biting his hands and grabbing his legs. Mike's consciousness throws him another vision from the past, where he stood up for a waitress in a bar, defeating 4 massive rangers, and how that waitress later became his girlfriend. Waking up, Mike realizes that he has stabbed all the jackals with a knife who were trying to eat him. Tommy, or rather his vision, was with Mike all night. In the morning, the radio spoke again. Command informed him that the military was delayed and would arrive only in 17 hours. In desperation, Mike threw away the watch he used to track the time until rescuers arrived. He began to feel like he was talking to Jenny, his girlfriend. He apologized, said he loved her, and started to shut down, but the sudden appearance of the Berber kept him on his feet. The Berber treated Mike's wounds left by the predators, said he must hold on, that he's lucky to still be alive. A new conversation ensued between Mike and the Berber. During it, Mike learns that the Berber once stepped on a mine himself. He and his daughter were digging them out of the sand and selling them to partisans. Instead of explosives, his daughter used to place tin cans on the detonators. One day, a mine went off, and the Berber's daughter died, and he lost a leg. Now, he has a wooden prosthetic in place. The Berber revealed that he brought water to Mike, and the girl, his daughter, was just a hallucination. He also shared that after the leg amputation, he didn't want to live, but in a moment of extreme desperation, he realized he had to move forward. Now, he has a wife and 2 children. The Berber made it clear that Mike too must become free, must go forward. He gives Mike some kind of drink, warning that it will induce visions, but then everything will be fine. Then the Berber leaves, leaving Mike weakened to be torn apart by his hallucinations. Mike sees once again how his drunken father beats his mother, and then beats him. He tries to resist, but the scene changes. He is transported to the day he met Jenny, fights with the Rangers, and then sees how he and Jenny have an argument. Mike starts resembling his father. Jenny expects a marriage proposal from him, but Mike is oblivious to it. He avoids the conversation about marriage. In his visions, his dying mother appears on a hospital bed. Mike is pulled out of the hallucination by the voice of the military over the radio. They drive by a few kilometers away from him in vehicles. They are ready to pick him up, but he needs to signal them. However, to reach the smoke canister, Mike must step off the mine. He's afraid to take that step, hesitates, and the military drives further away. They can't stay due to the terrorists. At the very moment when Mike is ready to signal, he is shot. People with weapons surround him, but Mike is not ready to surrender. He shoots from his sniper rifle, killing them one by one until he runs out of bullets. Finally, a vision of his father appears in the sands, slowly approaching with a familiar smirk on his face. Mike aims the pistol at him but can't bring himself to shoot at a vision from his past. Realizing he's ready to forgive his father, Mike lowers the gun. The father approaches and hugs him.
You have to move on.
The hallucinations disappear. Mike sees that the military vehicles are moving further away. He decides to take a step forward, taking the smoke canister. Mike steps off the mine, but it doesn't explode. Not yet realizing what happened, he cautiously digs up the mine and finds a tin can instead, left by the Berber's daughter, containing a toy soldier. Injured and covered in blood, Mike cries tears of joy. He collapses on the sand and ignites the smoke canister. He is noticed. Red smoke rises above the desert. Sappers cautiously approach through the minefield. They retrieve him, bring him to his senses, and send him home. At the airport, Mike, along with other soldiers, walks towards his family. On a chain hanging around his neck, alongside military tags with his personal soldier number and other data, hangs the toy soldier. The Berber's daughter left it in the tin can on the detonator. In the crowd of well-wishers, he notices Jenny. She is happy that her beloved has returned unharmed. She wants to hug Mike, but he stops a step away from her, looks into her eyes, and kneels, ready to make a proposal. That's all for today. Like and comment this video. I would also appreciate subscribing to my channel. Have a good day.